Alright guys, gals, and everything in between. Normally, the only thing that could get me this jacked up and emotional is another Cloverfield film. But today is unfortunately not the Cloverfield day. Today is a very special, different day. Today, the ink was signed, the contract signed, it's a done deal, it's happening. Seattle is getting an NHL team for technically the first time since 1917. I've mentioned it before that NHL 2020 is happening kind of thing, but they didn't officially have a deal yet. And now they do. They've officially confirmed it's happening. In total, the transaction's going to be about $1.4 billion. I know, just a small sum. That's all fine and dandy, but, yeah, this is happening. Like, it's no longer a pipe dream. We are getting an NHL team. And I was thinking about wearing the Seattle Metropolitans jersey with this video, but truth be told, couldn't find it because I'm in the process of moving, which is the ultimate irony with this, is, for those of you who don't know, I am moving from Seattle to Oklahoma. Now, that is great. I love it. I don't regret it. And in case my mother is concerned, I'm going to cancel moving because of that. Boomer Sooners. I am sufficiently excited, and this is something I've wanted my entire life. My parents, some of my earliest memories of sports I had some baseball stuff, but then my real fondest memories was going to hockey games with my parents. And we didn't have an NHL team, and I didn't necessarily, when I was a young kid, understand that it was an NHL team. So to me, the WHL, the Thunderbirds, were my NHL team. And then when I realized that there were different leagues and they weren't the major leagues, I always said, oh man, I always wanted it. And I had people tell me it's never going to happen. The NHL's never going to move to Seattle and all this stuff. And then there was the rich history of Seattle Metropolitans being the first American team to take home the Stanley Cup and beat the Montreal Canadiens. There was all this rich history with Seattle hockey that just kind of went by the wayside. And I always stood by it, and I was like, I'm going to stand by Seattle hockey because this needs to happen. And I ultimately chose to wear, and I couldn't find my jersey, but ultimately in the end I chose to wear my Seattle Thunderbirds jersey because the Seattle Thunderbirds were my team. They were my NHL team growing up. And this is a little more of a sentimental video. Hockey was my sport. I never really connected with football. I played basketball. I like basketball. But none of the sports hit me on such a level as hockey. And I've always had this dream of a Seattle NHL team. And now it's happening. So my dream, regardless of whether I'm here in the state or not, is coming true. And of course I'm going to fly up to watch games. That's a given. I'm flying up to watch hockey games. So it's not like I'm just going to be like, great, congratulations, bye. I'm actually flying up to watch them because I love hockey that much. Hockey is my favorite sport. Hockey is an escape for me. It's taught me a lot of things in life. It's taught me not to be afraid of certain confrontations. It's taught me to be who I want to be. And it's an intense, fun time that I always take pride in taking people to. So now that I get to share that on an NHL level rather than like a juniors and minor league level, it's just a weird, eclectic feeling. Like there's places in Seattle right now that have flags up for welcome to Seattle kind of thing, NHL. They have NHL flags up. And that's just a weird and beautiful thing for me because I'm like, I was always the guy who had to tell people about hockey in this state. And now all of a sudden, it's everywhere. We're a hockey town now, which is what I always dreamt of. And it's this very passionate and beautiful moment for me. So I'm very excited. I'm very thrilled. Now for a little bit of technical news. They are playing in the 2021 season. For a while, they were campaigning for 2020 season. Why are they not doing the 2021? Because there's rumors in 2020 there's going to be another NHL lockout, and they don't want... They claim it's because they want no time restrictions on building the Key Arena again. And while that's probably true, we all know they're afraid of the lockout, and they don't want Seattle's first season to be involved with the lockout. So 2021 is going to be the debut season, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, the team, of course, is costing about $1.4 billion, and that is a lot of money because they're spending $650 million to buy the team. They're spending, $800 million on the arena, and then $8 million on the practice facility, and that is a lot of money. And you know what? I'd say it's worth it to make this town a hockey town, because Seattle, as much as I for those of you who don't know, I hate football. I hate football. I don't understand the appeal of it, and I'll watch it with people. Like, if I have a buddy named Stuart, and Stuart will watch the football games, and I hate football. But because Seattle fans are so passionate, I will sit down and watch, even if I don't care for it. Although sometimes I will get a little bit of attitude, especially if I've had a couple beers in me, and be like, fuck this game. And so, this town is so feverishly passionate about all their teams. It just makes me so happy to know that Seattle is going to have a team and have its home there. And with all this history, it's just so happy. All right, now to where I'm really curious. The team name. Okay, so there's a list of team names we have right now, and I'm going to try and list them in the best order I can, because they actually took a poll of what Seattleites would want the team name to be. At number 1, we have the Seattle Sockeyes. At number 2, we have the Seattle Totems. At number 3, we have the Seattle Metropolitans. Go Metropolitans. At number 4, we have the Kraken. At number 5, we have the Steelheads. At number 6, we have the Seattle Freeze. And 7, we have the Seattle Emeralds. Now, in my opinion, I think we should be the Seattle Metropolitans, because that is our historic team that won the Stanley Cup, and it's just a part of Seattle history, and it would be nice to reincorporate that name into Seattle history again. Now, I don't know how a rights issue would be with that, so it's unlikely, but that's my team name that I want. I'm pulling for the Seattle Metropolitans. I'm not crazy about the Sockeye, mostly because are in the Pacific Division, where they're going to be, our geological rivals would be the Vancouver Canucks, whose logo is a killer whale, and the San Jose Sharks, whom I love, and the San Jose Sharks would be a shark, all of which technically eat fish and eat salmon. So it just feels like it'd be a smack talk that we couldn't give back. Now, I want the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken is... Okay, so my favorites are the Seattle Metropolitans, the Seattle Kraken, and I would settle for maybe the Seattle Steelhead or Sockeyes. I'm not big on the salmon, though, again. But the Steelhead sounds a little tougher. But the Kraken, a mythical oceanic beast, which, for those of you who don't know, in Tacoma, in some of those rivers, we have the largest cephalopods, I think, in the country. And so it would make sense to have the Kraken be that team name, and it's awesome because then we can have cool animations, and as the team flies out onto the ice, you say, "Release the Kraken!" And that would be so cool. But yeah, right now, the most favored team name amongst Seattleites is the Seattle Sockeye. So we would probably have like a salmon logo. If I can find the logos on the internet quickly, I will put them up here for you of names, but again, I'm pulling for the Metropolitans. So I've had a couple people ask me, why not just take the Thunderbirds name from the WHL and make that our NHL team? And I was like, well, because, I mean, they own that name. but B, I don't want to take that name from them. Because the Seattle Thunderbirds have always been a minor league team, and they've always been kind of my team. I don't want to screw them over just because NHL shows up. Let's get our own original NHL name. Now, names that aren't featured or submitted that I would speculate and love are other Seattle names. We used to have if I remember right, it was WHL, the Seattle Breakers, which actually, the Seattle Totems used to be a minor league team as well. And I've heard people say they really like the Totems name. I'm not crazy about that one, but I could warm up to it. But the one I really want is we had a team, the Tacoma Sabercats. Now, how cool would that be? We're not going to have Tacoma, but how cool would it be to have the Seattle Sabercats? Like, that just sounds badass to me and tough, and they already have a logo, and it would be awesome. The only concern, of course, would be that it's too similar to the Nashville Predators. But again, that's never gonna happen. It's just something a boy can dream. But I am gonna continue. I know I don't normally do sports videos, but I'm going to continue to cover this because hockey is a special place in my heart, and now it's hit a special point in my life that is something that I've dreamt about since I was a child. And now it's here, and I feel like I have to cover it because it's something that matters to me that much. So I'm going to keep covering it. As news comes out, I'll talk about it gladly. If you guys have requests on hockey videos you want me to talk about, comment below. I'll gladly talk about it. But it's something I haven't normally come out publicly about much on like YouTube or things like that. So this is kind of a new leaf for me, and I have a new life coming up. And the Seattle NHL is, no matter what, I will be, no matter where I am, I'm a Seattle NHL fan for life. Because it's something I've dreamt about forever. So it's just, this is an amazing moment for me. So please like and subscribe. I've got so much coming to you guys with so much energy and passion, in my opinion anyway. I cannot wait to talk to you more about this. So, Seattle NHL 2021. Please tell me your thoughts. And you know what? If you have an idea on the team name, if you guys want the totems or things like that, post what you want. But more than that, tell me why you like that name. Because if there's people who like the Seattle Freeze, I want to know why. Because I'm not crazy about that name. But I'm just excited. I'm so excited as a fan. I'm driving through Seattle. There's hockey flags. Like, it's just nuts. We're a hockey town overnight. I'm just so passionate and excited. And I know I'm rambling on this video, and that's fine. I'm accepting it. If you guys have an issue with it, I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. But anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.